Dermot's computer has frozen by the looks of it. So anyway, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this wonderful world of Tottenham Hotspur. This is Thfc till I die. The whole Spurs, past, present, and future not looking too bad. So anyway, Dermot is now unfrozen himself. You know something? You've been frozen more times than Walt Disney.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's life. Anyway, good day and welcome everyone to THFC Till I Die, your home of Spurs, past, present, and a great future.
I already said that.
Oh, have you? Well, there, I said it again now. How are you all this afternoon? Philip, look, pre-match really today, isn't it? Are you excited?
Yeah, imagine you travel halfway around the world, 18-hour plane trip. Who do you end up playing? Bloody West Ham. You know. Anyway, I suppose they happen to be there, so I suppose we just have to beat them and put it back in the box like we usually do.
Yeah, well, they only got invited because we felt sorry for them. To be fair.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Anyway, how was your weekend, Philip? You heard you were in Dublin yesterday at the Kerry.
I was.
Did you enjoy yourself? And any problems this week?
No. Probably the best Gaelic football match of the season yesterday. In fact, a very, very disappointing crowd. Place was only half full, 40,000. But great game. Brilliant. Absolutely. Yeah, 42,000, something like that. Great game. Derry, so unlucky to lose. Really. They should have beaten Kerry, which would have been a major shock. But Kerry came good in the last 10 minutes and just scraped home by 2 points. But great match and sets it up for the final with Dublin.
Who do you think will win out of that, Dublin or Kerry?
Well, based on yesterday's performance, Dublin, but Kerry will improve. And I think it could be very close. I wouldn't like to pick a winner.
Well, I'm going for Kerry. That's it.
I hope Kerry win. Win.
Well, if Dublin win, that'd be their 7th title in 6 years.
No, 8 years.
8 years.
They play it twice 1 year, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but the last won it in 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
2021, the last one. So,
yeah.
And then, of course, Mayo beat them then last year in the semi-final. And
Mayo won a match. My God, there's a shock.
I know. There is a shocker. Well, Philip, let's see who's in the chat. We've got FTSM Column. Says Jim. Well, because my computer froze, the chat's been a bit mixed up. So big up Colin. We've got Jim in as well. Big up Jim. We've got Kay. She says, good afternoon, gents, and everyone in the chat. We've got Wayne Bonner in. Big up Wayne. And they're just talking. We've got Ellie in as well. I'm here to support our lads on our fabulous show. Big up Ellie. We've got Rooty Tooty. I like that name, Rooty Tooty. Big up all. We've got Andrew Gregory. Good afternoon, Dermot and Philip. Hope everyone is well. We got Lee Richards looking like Spurs holding them. So I've just got some news coming in about Man United. Do you want to read that one out quickly? I've got a comment about this later, actually. It looks like the Spurs-hating media are doing their level best to destabilise us with the incessant reporting of dubious claims from the tax-dodging Bayern Munich president Uli Hoeneß. Apparently, the Bayern Munich board are not too pleased with Hoeneß for the way he's been spouting off and mouthing off about the Kane deal. Do you want me to give you the latest on what the CEO actually said, Philip? Because this is what was given to me. Bayern CEO Dressen on Harry Kane. It's no secret that we're very interested in Kane. Everything Uni Hoeneß said is correct, but it's best for us to stick with what Thomas Tuchel said. The grass don't grow faster when you pull it. Yeah, I think the more they're saying Uli Hoeneß by opening his big mouth has probably destabilised the move a little bit. It's made Spurs very angry, and rightly so. I mean, to me, Bayern Munich should be reported to UEFA for tapping up a player who's under contract at another club. We know it goes on everywhere, but this is a very high-profile case. It should be made an example of. But they won't because they'll be scared of offending Bayern Munich, basically. Yeah. Big up Mia as well, who's in the house. Big up me. We've got Eugene as well. Hi, everyone. Big up Levy out. Who else we've got in? I think that's it for the so far. Look, also, where's this bit of breaking news now I had? Now, let's start with what we usually start. Well, I saw this, Philip, right? And I couldn't help but try to put words in their mouth. Now, what I put is, has Levy talked to you yet, boss? He has. He's trying to pass Dyer off as you. Now, the funniest comment.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say the funniest comment, and that seeing anyone beat that. Come up with a comment. What is Daniel Levy? Oh, sorry, what is Harry Kane saying to Ange, and what is Ange replying?
Now, I think my internet is starting to play up a little bit here, Philip.
You're freezing again there.
Yeah, so if Ellie can jump in for us, if Ellie's there or watching, can she jump in? Because I'm going to need, because my internet's playing up just a tad today. So anyway, so that's that, Philip. We'll soldier on as best we can. Now, the Kane Daily News. Now, this is what I was given last night, Philip. 116 million euro for Kane is Levy's asking price. By the looks of it, Kane isn't sure about the new contract being offered to him, and Bayern will try and get the sale done within the week. Now, that is the very latest I have on that.
Well,
what's your thoughts on that, Philip? Look, 116 million euro. I don't know what that is in pounds.
It's close enough to 100 million. Close enough.
Yeah.
Now, having the sale done this week, forget about that. I mean, the guy's in Australia, and they're not going to fly him home to disrupt the tour to suit Bayern Munich. You can be sure of that.
They will do, Philip.
No,
it's already said that. If I've heard that,
Dermot, that would be an absolute insult if he did that. They'll be back in England in 10 days' time. They can wait that long. If Spurs send Harry Kane back home to sign for this crowd, there'll be a fucking riot. God forgive me. If he goes, fair enough, but you're disrupting the entire tour. A lot of people have paid good money to see Harry Kane playing on this tour. People in Singapore, people in Thailand, to see Harry Kane, right? He's not there.
But they're not seeing Harry Kane, are they? Seeing Son and the rest of them.
No, they're seeing Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the biggest star Spurs have, and people pay money to go and see him. And people don't get the chance to go to matches will pay to see him going on tours like this. So it's okay. If they want to sell him, fair enough. We can't stop that. But the least they can do is have respect for the fans that have paid that good money to see him instead of flying him home early so he can go off to Germany and be paraded there. Not good enough.
It isn't Harry Kane FC. It's Tottenham Hotspur FC.
I know it's not. Come on now. Do you not realise Harry Kane is Tottenham for a lot of fans, for a lot of people living abroad? He's the biggest star we've got, and they want to see him play. And they pay good money.
Would you not put Sonny as the same level as Harry Kane?
Oh, almost. But Harry Kane is still the star man. And I mean, if I was living in Thailand and I paid good money to go and see him play and I found he was no longer at the club, I'd be very annoyed. All they have to do is wait a few days till they get back to England. And then they can, if they're going to sell him. But I'm absolutely gutted if they send him home early from this.
Yeah, but we know, Philip, transfers in the past, players have been on pre-season tours and they've left to go.
Tell me one. I can't remember one.
Well, a few of them have. Messi did a few years ago.
But I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about now. They can wait a few days. The season doesn't start for another month. They can wait a few days. If Spurs do this, I will be absolutely gutted that they have that little regard for their fans. What are we? Just a cash cow to give them money and get money on false pretenses.
Look. The people are paying good money to see Tottenham play. I know what you're saying. I don't slightly agree they're paying just to see one player. That they're paying to see the whole team. They're paying to see Tottenham Hotspur, not just Harry Kane. If Harry Kane was injured, he wouldn't be there. So would you? And that
he's not injured. But
I'm saying if he was though, Philip, if he was injured,
fair enough.
You're telling me that people
he'd be there though. He'd be there. They parade him out. They show him out on the pitch before the game and do something. It's like going to a film premiere. Say you're going to see a Tom Cruise film premiere, right? And Tom Cruise doesn't turn up. How would you feel? You know, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm looking at the comments here. I think people are agreeing with me here.
It's people's opinions.
Yeah, I know that. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm just saying, like, if people agree with me, fair enough. I don't really mind. But
Kate, look. Yeah, look.
Show me. Now you're being selective there. Show me.
No, I'm not. I am not. I've brought up. Look, I'll bring up all your ones, Philip. Look, there. Where else is it now? I'm not being selective. Don't ever accuse me of being selective when I'm not, Philip. That's not fair.
Okay, fair enough.
Never have been.
Yeah, the first one he showed us was the one that said that he's not coming. He wants let him go. With the rest of them all said,
yeah, well, I did.
You know?
Yeah, I did bring them up. But look, for me, I don't. hang on, just checking something there. Look, for me, so would you wait the 10 days and then sell them?
Of course I would. If they're going to sell them in 10 days' time. Don't sell them in the middle of a tour, which has been carefully planned to extract the maximum amount of money out of the fans that are going to see them and then leave them disappointed.
Just a quick thing. You're right, Ellie. Me internet seems to be holding, so hold your horses. You're okay. You don't need to come in. You're great. Look, but Philip, look, I understand what you're saying. I really do. And I think the majority of the chat actually do agree with you, to be fair. Yeah. But would him, if they accepted a bid and they wanted to get him over the line quickly, would you think that will not disrupt the tour more, having him there?
No.
Than sending him home to get the deal and to get a replacement in as quickly as possible.
No. I think that what they can do is they can agree a price, they can keep it quiet, and look at the Declan Rice thing with Arsenal. Well, Arsenal had him signed 2 weeks before he actually signed for them.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich can wait a couple of weeks before they get Harry Kane. I just don't want. I'm feeling sorry for the poor sods out there. They wouldn't be on big money in those countries, probably. Especially in Thailand. You know, paying to see their hero, and they're not going to be there because Spurs sold them off during the middle of a pre-season tour.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you one thing. It'd be typical Daniel Levy if he did it, and I think he's only making a rod for his own back if he does things like that.
He is.
Let's move on from Kane. Like, I am sick of the Harry Kane saga, as we all are.
There is more, Philip. There's more. Right. Now, this is what Postecoglou, just very quickly, Philip, if you can just read this out and just start this off. I just need to get my phone, sorry.
And hits back at Bayern's, hang on, where are we? Bayern's early honest. If other clubs want to talk about their contracted players, that's more of an issue for them than us. The honorary president of the Germans spoke with confidence last week about signing Harry Kane. Well, that's tapping it, not signing, tapping him up. And that is not good enough. That is illegal. It should be dealt with, but won't be because they'll get away with murder. If I was Daniel Levy, I would be a double-edged sword. I'd take their 118 million, then report them to UEFA. Because what they've done has been absolutely scandalous. If we did this to another club, it'd be all over the media. Bayern Munich has been done as if they've got a right to do it. It's as if they're God-given right to tap up our players. But we couldn't do the same thing to one of theirs. There'd be war over it. It's the double standards that annoy me, really.
Yeah,
they're getting away with murder there and won't be even punished for it.
Philip, though, look, hello, Ellie. There really wasn't much for you to come in because I'm sorted now. So I'm sorry. The internet went a bit.
If you don't want me, I'll bugger off.
No, well, you're here now, so you might as well stay in now. Look.
Thank you, darling.
That's right. Look, Philip, I understand. Tapping up, right, it's been going on for years and years and years and years and years, right? We know that. It's been going on since the beginning of football. We've done it in the past ourselves, right, to other players and tapped other players up.
Who'll be done it?
Well, didn't we get done for that back in the 90s? Or was that a regular payment?
No, that was a regular payment. It wasn't to do with tapping up. It was a regular payment, which is totally different.
So, look, it goes on all in football, Philip. So how do you... Instead of going on about the Harry Kane Bayern Munich thing, how do you stamp out this tapping up in football completely? What is the one thing you can bring in and say, if you do this, this is the punishment you're going to get? If you were in charge of UEFA or FIFA,
UEFA bring in a ruling that's in the statute books, right? That any team found guilty of tapping up a player from another team that's under contract, they either get. There's no point fining them because fines are. Might as well piss in the wind. You deduct points or knock them out of Europe for a couple of seasons. You've got to hit them where it hurts, and then it might stop.
Yeah.
Look, Ellie, Philip says fines won't work. Well, if you're Man City, fines definitely don't work, and you get away with murder. Would you go down the line, Ellie, of deducting points or putting transfer embargoes on the clubs just as a deterrent to stop this?
Yeah, the thing is, there's so many things that you can't do. But the thing is, if you say, for example, you get them to play their matches behind closed doors, that's hitting at the fans. I didn't like that idea. I saw that idea bandied around earlier today. No, I think what they should do is not just fine them, make them, I don't know, maybe make them come out of UEFA competitions altogether for a couple of years. So they're not allowed to go in any UEFA, because that'll hit them in the pocket more than just a one-off fine, right? And then they'll think twice to do it. You know, you've got to give a big enough incentive, a deterrent, for them not to do it. So I think banning them from UEFA competitions, like they did in England for us when they banned Liverpool and they banned Everton, didn't they? Or no, they didn't ban Everton.
No, they banned everybody. Everybody was out for 5 years because.
Yeah.
Did Liverpool get 6 years? They got a year more than everyone, didn't they, Philip?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were. I know we lost out in Europe that first season, 2 or 3 seasons that they've done. But I mean, it's the team that I think Liverpool might have got an extra year, but they should have got an extra 5 years because they caused it all. You know, it wasn't a Spurs fan that caused the Heysel to stay. It wasn't Everton. It wasn't Chelsea. It was Liverpool.
Yeah, but surely if you're going down that route, then what every other club did in the past, like Leeds back in the 70s, Tottenham in the 70s as well, Philip, in the 80s.
But they never caused the death of 40 people, Dermot.
I know what you're saying.
You know, the Heysel was the one that should have been singled out and punished. The whole FA was punished because of one club's indiscretions.
Well, can I ask you a question, Philip? As a young lad, I was only about 5 or 6 at the time of Heysel, right? You probably remember it more than me. What started that? I've watched documentaries on that. Was it that the Italians attacked the Liverpool fans, or was it what? Could you give people sort of the background of it? Because it wasn't a great stadium to be held in that cup final, European Cup final, was it?
The stadium was decrepit, apparently. Right. I'm just going to I'll just refresh my own memory on this. Bear with me for a second there.
Yeah.
I know there was disputed facts whether it was the Liverpool fans went down the Juventus end or otherwise, you know. And 1 second.
I like Adrian.
Come here, I have to take this call here. Could you carry on?
You've got to get it right, isn't it, Philip? See, my recollection in the British press is that they were blaming the Liverpool fans for it all. I remember it really, and the British press were not even in defence of the Liverpool fans. I remember that very well because my dad came in and he said, "This is atrocious what's happening over there, you know, and there's going to be heavy consequences." I was quite young still, but I was old enough to understand, right? And I just remember the British press going to town on Liverpool, and when the bans came out, Dermot, there was a lot of uproar from the other clubs disputing it because, you know, to ban all clubs, I think that's wrong, you know. So you're both gone now, so I'm taking over the show. So we've got Flat Cat Pete saying, agree with Philip, 100%, sick of Harry Kane, show sorry, thought Hart was on my post. Oh, you're back, well done.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, look, me and Philip had this thing about Harry Kane, if a bid was accepted from Bayern Munich, that I said he should come back straight away and do it. Philip said he shouldn't. He should wait to the end of the tour because people have bought tickets to see Harry Kane. Now, a majority, I'd say a good 70% of the chat agree with Philip, or 80% of the 90% of the chat actually do agree with Chip. Like Philip Pierce says, agree with Philip.
Okay, I've got the answers to that.
Yeah, but just very quickly, Philip, I've just gone through the chat. Around 80% agree with you, by the way, by what you said.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't want to sound bolshy about it, but I'm a huge advocate of fair play, and don't get people's money under false pretenses. And that would be a lot of the case if Harry Kane wasn't here. It would have been better off leaving him at home and telling him he wasn't coming. If now he's here, he's got to stay to the end of the tour.
Now. Lee Richards says, this will lead on to what you've said, Philip. Lee Richards says, we were banned for 5 seasons by UEFA after the trouble in finals in 74. Didn't affect us because we didn't qualify for Europe again for 7 seasons.
I've forgotten about that. That was, we didn't mind us. We didn't get back into Europe in 1981 anyway. Regarding Heysel, after an 18-month investigation, the dossier of leading Belgian judge Marina Coppeterius was finally published. It concluded that blame should rest solely with the Liverpool fans.
Yeah,
Now,
that's what I
here's the
was
next,
just saying.
and here's the
as
next
well.
bit. The next bit. Somebody asked the next question: did Liverpool ever apologise for Heysel? Never. There was no hint of an apology, right? And it just more or less meant that Liverpool again classed themselves as the victims, as they always do. They didn't even think it wise to apologise to the families of the dead people
Now,
there, which I find absolutely
to be
disgusting.
fair, to hold this in the context, though, Philip, to be fair, yeah, Heysel, you could put blame on them. Hillsborough was the police's fault in 89.
Talking about Hillsborough, I'm just talking about Heysel, really.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, put it into all context.
No, we're talking purely about Heysel here, but
yeah,
there's always been a case of that they've always classed themselves as the victims, no matter what happens, whether they're the instigators or not, you know. So, but anyway,
I like this comment here by Adrian Lawrence. I really do. It's really funny. Make Bayern play in England shirts and run out to the Dan Posters music every home.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, actually. Yeah.
That would be a laugh, man.
That's true.
I just want to say big up to Phil P. or the Phil Army. Says big up to Tronelli and Philip. Huge love to you and all in the chat. Big up. We've got Mr. EE as well. Jazz Fusion's asking you, Philip, if Kane gets hurt on tour, then what?
Well, that's the thing. If he gets hurt, at least he's there. I mean, players get injured. That's fair enough. What they would do is he'd be there with the team. He'd go out on the pitch before the game in his crutches or whatever he goes on. But wouldn't it be ironic if he did get injured and wasn't able to go to Bayern Munich?
Yeah. This is the one person that probably. This is the one person that probably did agree with me, Philip. To be fair, I agree with you, If he's going, send him back and let's get it sorted.
No, so I still think it's very unfair on the fans.
Yeah.
You know,
Players and agents says players and agents are always approached to see if they're interested before contact with the club is made. Look, we know the PSG thing. Now, I've got the latest on the PSG movement here now, and this is what I've got. This is the latest I have. PSG are prepared to enter the race to sign Harry Kane. They've already been in contact with Harry's brother, Agent Charlie, for a number of weeks, and the father. So that doesn't surprise me.
The father's joined the clan now, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently. PSG believe that Kane prefers to join Bayern over the French champions, but they hope to convince Kane to join the club if they can reach agreement with Spurs and Bayern can't. Philip,
he can drive to work.
It was Derval that hit me on this news yesterday, to be fair to her. She actually sent it to me yesterday morning. So Derval was across this very, very quickly.
That's spy, isn't she?
Philip, look, if he was to leave, right, hypothetically, right, and you were Harry Kane, where would you pick if you had a choice between the French league or the German league?
No, the German league by any day of the week. I mean, it's not so much. No offense to the French league, which is okay. There is the French league is nearly as bad as the Scottish league. To be honest with you, there are very few decent teams in it. A few decent teams, not many. But going into that Billy Smart circus, also known as PSG, would be an absolutely ridiculous thing for him to do. Bayern Munich are for all their tapping up, they're a well-run club, right? Okay, they win the Bundesliga without even opening their eyes every season. But I would go to Harry. If I was Harry and I had to go, I'd go to Bayern Munich. The problem is, though, PSG have a lot more money than Bayern Munich have.
Yeah, but also, Philip and Ellie, the ultras, the PSG ultras want the owners out.
Yeah, they do.
But the French demonstrate over everything. You know, if it rains tomorrow, they'll protest against the government.
They'll probably demonstrate over Ellie's hat. Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's a nice hat today.
Yeah.
Germany is a much more stable place. Like, I mean, I spent a lot of time in Germany. I won't say I like the German people. I think they're very, very matter of fact and not that friendly. But the further south you go in Germany, the friendlier they get. And Munich is a very, very nice city. I was in it there a few weeks ago. Munich is a lovely city and a great place for Harry to go to, you know. And I think if he's going, let him go to Munich for all their faults.
Look, this is the last thing on the Harry Kane saga before we move on, guys. Just very quick, take that off before we do move on. Did you see Sonny's press conference with Ange today? I don't know.
I saw most of it. Yeah.
Did you hear Sonny's comment when he said about him being another club looking at him? and he shut the rumours down straight away. I'm staying here. This is my.
He actually said, "If I wanted to be there, I'd be there now." He said,
Yeah.
Then
it's not about
can
money.
Harry Kane just come out and say something like that and put it to death? Because we have this every summer. It's boring. It's getting ridiculous. Can we just put this to bed one way?
But you know what that is, Dermot? Because Son's father, right, has brought Son up the right way, right?
Yeah.
To respect the people you're working for. And while I'm not saying Harry Kane hasn't been brought up the right way, when he's got the idiot brother who's an Arsenal fan pulling the strings there, it's never going to work out right for us. No. He's wanted Harry out of Spurs for years. You know, and now he's looking like. But one thing I did notice, actually, I don't know if you noticed that Chris Cowden has actually gone to Australia on the tour.
I did. I watched it. I was just watching
the video of him there.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So he had a good video. Now, one thing he did mention on the video was there was no defensive work done at all on the training center today. It was all attack.
Anyway. That's because we haven't got a defence yet.
And can I just say,
just keep it up the top, lads.
I just want to say big up to Matthew as well, who's gifted 5 memberships to people in the chat. So big up Matthew. So I don't know who actually. So if people can let us know who's got the memberships, Matthew's got one. Who else has got one here now? I know Jim. Who else has got? I don't know. Just say who's got a new membership. Just say hello, and then we'll know who you are. We've got Dragon D Nuts. I love that name. I literally love that fella's name. I think it's the coolest name. Sounds like an Xbox game.
I love
Dragon D Nuts.
Well.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Matthew, cheers. Very generous of you. I'm so grateful. Well, big up, Dragon. Welcome to the crew. We've got Mia as well. Big up, Matthew. Big up, Jim. Right now. Guys, Tottenham Hotspur could enter the chase. Now, I heard this last night as well. Tottenham Hotspur could enter the chase for Frankfurt Randall Kulu Mooney. If they sell Harry Kane to Bayern Munich this summer, he is seen as an ideal replacement for the English striker. Did a little bit of research on him, Philip and Ellie. He's a very good striker. But I don't think he's a replacement for Harry Kane. If you could pick one striker, guys, to replace Harry Kane, who would you replace him with? And I'll start with you, Ellie.
I would choose Vlahovic because he's young. He's only 23. He's still learning the game, but he's played at 2 top sides in Italy, which is a very hard league to score in.
Yeah,
you know, you're playing against tough defenders over there, and he's proved his worth. Okay, Juventus, he hasn't hit the ground running yet, but you know, sometimes that goes in your career. But he can have a fresh start in the Premiership, and he's really highly suited because of his physicality. He's a big lad, strong, brilliant in the air, fantastic shot. I'd love him at White Hart Lane. Brilliant.
Yeah, and you, Philip, who would you look? Hypothetically, if we sold Harry Kane, who do you want to come in to replace him?
Well, hypothetically, if PSG signed Harry Kane, we might get Vlahovic. But if PSG don't sign Harry Kane, they're going to sign Vlahovic because they're already in for him. So, while I'd love to see Vlahovic coming, I don't think he will be. This guy, Eintracht Frankfurt, I never even heard of him, sorry.
No, to be fair, I didn't heard of him till this morning, but a lot of people going for Philip Ivan Toney.
Yeah, but Ivan Toney can't play till January or February.
Edward Richarlison, there's a replacement for your.
Richarlison is going to be like a new player for us this season. So I think Richarlison is the guy that could be the stand-in if we can't get anybody else, you know.
I just want to say big up to Matthew as well. It's 200. I think that's rupees, is it, Philip?
I don't know. It probably is, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, 200 rupees. Big up, Matthew. Thank you so much. Very kind of you for the super chat. And if you want to be a bit like Matthew as well, it does help the channel, and please pick up your memberships. He gifted very kindly 5 memberships to people in the chat, so thank you so much as well, Matthew, for that. And pardon me, he says, guys, I don't give a F about Kane. If he wants to leave, then leave the club or kick him out of the club. He is not Ronaldo, Messi or something, and get Vlahovic in. Philip, what do you say?
Well, we're not going to kick him out of the club. I mean, I think that's a bit over the top now, to be honest with you. I mean, you can't kick your record goal scorer out of the club just because he's talking to, or another club has tapped him up. I still think I'm more convinced than ever now he will be going, right?
Yeah.
but he'll go with honour and dignity as much as can be allowed a player leaving under a cloud, because he's under a cloud because he's allowed Bayern Munich to tap him up while he's still under contract. But he will be going, I think.
Corey Boy says here, guys, it's time to end this with the Kane. Sign a contract or go. Few up with his brother and father getting involved all the time. Bunch of bloody Gooner fans, that lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we've got Beyond 72, dragging this nuts. Doesn't sound like any Xbox games, but I know it is an indie game on Game Pass. Yeah, it is. Use the money on centre-backs. Well, I can give you the very latest on the centre-back, guys. And this is the very latest we've got on Mickey Van de Ven deal. Was there to be confirmed. Personal terms were done. Tottenham Hotspur mulled over the details and discussed lowering the fee slightly last week. Talks are still ongoing. He is in demand elsewhere too. Philip, out of 10, what would you give this transfer to go through Spurs, be a Spurs player?
Well, the more I'm hearing lately, I'm hearing more talk about Joachim Andersen from Crystal Palace. He seems to have become one of the favourites now. He's 27 and it would cost 50 million, which is more than Mickey van der Ven would cost. But then again, he does have Premiership experience, which is, he can hit the ground running with us. So I don't know. I mean, I'm convinced we will sign probably 2 centre-backs, but it may not be the 2 that we thought. It might not be Tapsoba and Van der Ven. It could be Anderson. It could be somebody else. It could even be the dreaded Harry Maguire, because he's on the market now. So I just don't know.
Yeah. Very quick other bit of news here, guys. Aston Villa learned Lo Celso Tottenham transfer stance after Napoli talks. Tottenham reportedly want to add an obligation to buy as part of any loan deal for Lo Celso, and then reported interest from Aston Villa. Ellie, very quickly, yes or no? Do you think he'd be going to Villa, or do you think he'd be going to Barcelona? Just yes or no on both.
I personally think he's going to go to Aston Villa. That's because of his connection with the manager there, Unai Emery.
I wouldn't sell him to Villa. I'd sell him to a Spanish
Would you
club.
sell him to Spain, Philip?
Yeah. I wouldn't sell any of our players to Premiership clubs unless they're players that young lads or something like that. They haven't made a name for themselves yet. It's not safe. It's not safe.
No. This one here, Philip, Glazers may not. Now, this is going on from our discussion on Saturday about ownerships. Glazers may not make a decision on the sale situation until September or October, with the American owners looking for investment that will allow them to stay at Old Trafford. So, from our talk on Saturday, Philip, does that mean we could be looking at the Qataris looking at Tottenham and Liberty Media sort of being blown out the water? And Ellie, this question to you. If you're a Man United fan, how would you feel this morning? Reading that, so go, Philip. You go first for the first part of that question.
It's like this. I mean, if I was one of the bidders for Manchester United, I would be giving the Glazers an ultimatum. Either you decide by tomorrow week or whenever, and if you don't make up your mind by then, I'm out of here, and you can find yourself another buyer, and then move on somewhere else. The way they're treating these guys, like Jim, what do you call him? Jim Ratcliffe, and the Qatari guys, is absolutely scandalous. And the United fans must be. Can you imagine if this was happening down at Tottenham? Jesus. I think the United fans, while their demonstrations have been very good and very organised, they must be thinking, what the hell is going on here? Do we have to wait another season to get rid of these guys? Yeah. And they're a scandal. I mean, the fact that they've never, ever put a penny of their own money into that club, and taking millions out of it every season. It's a horrible situation for United to be in. And they're going to have to do something about it. Something needs to be done there for the sake of United and Spurs, because we could be the beneficiary of the underbidder, if you like.
Colin is absolutely fuming.
I don't blame you. I don't blame.
If you were a Man United fan, how would you? I mean, Colin said to me personally, privately, that he wants to support Man United next season. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to give up on his club, but he's going to refuse to watch any games because he's so fed up with what the Glazers are doing. Then sort of very quickly, does that sort of, we're not in the same boat, are we, as the Glazers were Levy and Enoch?
No, we're not. The thing is, I can understand where Colin's coming from, because it's so frustrating as a fan. And the Glazers have, like you said, have taken so much money away from the club and not put a penny back in. And also, they're they want to keep 20% of the club, I heard. Even whoever they sell to, they still want a stake. So that's really putting the dampers, because they're still going to take dividends from the club, and they're going to put their oar in and put their noses into all the decisions that are going to be being made. So those Qatari or Jim Ratcliffe coming in, they're going to be peed off with them, aren't they?
Well, the thing is, Ellie, Jim Ratcliffe's bid is 20%. Qatari's 100% takeover. Philip, I don't normally bring out comments in the chat. I normally just thank them up. But I would like to say, how is our club a shambles right now?
I can't agree with that at all.
I can't agree with that. Ali, do you agree with that or not, to be fair?
Only the fact that we haven't shored up the defence. That's all I would say.
If this was the 31st of August...
Shambles, though. Nowhere near.
If this was the 31st of August and then we haven't shored up the defence, you might tend to agree with that.
Yeah,
we've done very, very good business this transfer window so far, and we will continue to do it. So to say we're a shambles right now, it's a bit harsh on Ange Postecoglou. He hasn't even played a match yet. He hasn't even seen the players in action. So he'll make the decision who stays and who goes. The shambles bit, I think, is a bit harsh now. It's very harsh.
Yeah. What I was going to say, as long as they do the business before the transfer deadline, get them in, because the more time Angie's got with those defenders and the defence coaches and everything, and the goalkeeper coach, the better they're going to gel. You see,
it's 4 weeks to the first match. Ideally, he needs 2 or 3 weeks with those centre backs before we start playing competitively. Get them in now, basically.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because we've gone on pre-season tour with not one new defender. Ange is immediately on the back foot. I don't think he is. Plus, we all have crap Deadwood on the tour with us. Well, look, you have.
Ange just said he's going to give everybody a chance. He wants to see them in that. He hasn't seen them play, so he can't make a decision until he sees what they're like. Now, there will be players on this tour who will play the last match for Tottenham, and there will be players who haven't. It's just going to be interesting to see who those players are and what happens when they get back. But I think getting we tried to get defenders in before the tour. Didn't happen. It'll happen after the tour.
Look, and another thing, none of us have been a football manager, so we don't know what's going through Angie's head. Obviously, he does want to have a look at all the players to see who he's going to cut, and he needs this tour to do it. So in a way, it's good that they're there, because he's going to see how bad they are, and he will chop them. He will, because there's no reason why he won't chop them.
Look, for me, I've said it before, Philip and Eddie. Transfers is not like Football Manager or FIFA.
No,
you can't do them overnight.
It's very complex business.
It is. And she also goes on to say, nothing would change unless Levy and Enid go. Well, look, you can say that to the cows come home, but they're still here. They're still on the club until somebody comes in and matches them, buys us. We're stuck with them. But to be fair, Levy's done well this summer. And we were given credit where credit's due. He's bought in Maddison. He got that deal in very quick. He got the goalkeeper in very quick. A lot of teams are away in pre-season tour, so transfers do slow down while they're away all across the world. So, look, we have to see what happens, but I just don't know.
I think I was cut off there for a minute. I think we got Maddison for 40 million. Yeah. Arsenal got Con, they're paying 105 million for Declan Rice, and then embarrassing the hell out of themselves with that video they put out, which is cringeworthy. Talk about it. If we did that now, I'd be hiding my head in that. I'd be hiding all my Spurs memorabilia and my shirts. I wouldn't even admit to be the Spurs.
Can I just say, Ice Ice Baby was crap first time around. I didn't know you could murder a song that was crap. They rarely have murdered a song that was crap.
Yeah.
Colin is saying we're organising another march outside Old Trafford on the first home game of the season. Expect numbers to. Now, can I just say something? Can I just say this is no disrespect to anybody, so please don't take this the wrong way. That is what you call a protest. 12,000 supporters. That is a protest, isn't it? Really, and this is no disrespect to anyone or anything. But that is one hell of a protest.
You know what, though? Like, inside the ground, when they sing We Want Levy Out, that's a lot more than 12,000 fans singing it. I've just had that.
I think if those 12,000 fans were outside the ground with placards, it would have a much bigger effect because it would be, or even in the ground with a placard. You know, you see a lot of chants in football. It's very hard to make out some of the chants, but if you've got a board Levy out and put up like that, everybody sees it.
Yeah, they did have that one last time.
Yeah,
they had the balloons and the board. Well,
the defenders will leave. Defenders will arrive before the season starts. I agree with Colin Turner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
Financially healthy, but it's a shamble in terms of trophies. Now that I agree with.
Yeah, 100%.
And my internet is beginning to play up again.
100%.
Right now, guys, let's kick on with this. Let me take that off now. It's our first predicted 11 for the first game tomorrow, our first official game tomorrow. And it's Tottenham, of course, are playing West Ham. Now, Philip, this is the predicted 11. Now,
but for the first half, anyway.
Well, look. For the fact, this is what the starting 11 is going to. We assume is going to look like. Now, apparently, Dyer is not as it will be playing, but in another thing as well, guys. Where is it? In the training, international. Let me bring that in. Training things this morning. This was the lineup. Now, would you think you see that in the first half, guys? Do you think that could be the starting lineup for tomorrow or that one? Which one would you go with?
I'd go with that one, but it's impossible to work it out. There will be 22 players at least involved tomorrow, if not more. You know, I think what will happen is they'll play stronger teams against Leicester and West Ham, and then against they'll give the young lads a run out against the Sailors from Singapore when they play that one.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't be a bad starting 11. But as again, it'll change at half time anyway.
And you, Ellie, do you think that could be the starting lineup, or do you think this could be the starting lineup? Which one would you go for?
I actually prefer that one. Sorry, guys, because I just don't like a starting lineup with Dyer in it, and also Ndombele's there, Thfc is there, and what I would do though, Porro, I wouldn't play him there. I'll play Emerson there. Isn't Emerson available?
Yeah, well, this was they played these two 11s against each other. This was the second 11 of that training match. So this is the other one. Now, guys, do you think that could be the sort of second half team?
No, it's there's so many. There's 31 players to choose from. You can take any permutation you like.
Yeah.
So I think it's pointless even trying to speculate. We'll know tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning when the team's announced. You know,
Porro's 2 weeks defensively. Nah, he wouldn't be a good choice there.
No, I disagree with you.
He's going to have to play a right back. He's our right back. He's going to be
defensively, Dermot. He's terrible defensively.
I think. Look, I don't think you play Emerson there then, wouldn't you? And have him as backup. Definitely. But look, for the first half tomorrow, Ellie, you got to play everyone, so play him there. It's only pre-season.
I'll play Emerson and then Porro in front of him.
Tomorrow is an audition for a lot of these players. And they know that. So I'd be surprised. Normal pre-season friendlies are played at a kind of a half walking pace. I think this is going to be different tomorrow because these futures are at stake. And there's a lot of players playing out of their skin or trying to play out of their skin tomorrow that you wouldn't normally associate with that. Eric Dyer being one of them.
We just hope Eric Dyer plays like Eric Dyer then.
Well, no, I don't. I don't want us to lose to West Ham by Eric Dyer making a mistake. I want Eric Dyer to have a great game.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant he plays the bad game, but we still win.
Yeah, but if Eric Dyer plays a very good game, this is. I don't wish Spurs players to play any bad games just to get rid of them. Ange will know enough to know who he's going to keep and who he's going to stay. Tomorrow, I want them all to have good games.
And then Daniel Zeta says we'll have to go into each preseason game match with wanting to win.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't say, look, even if I like a player or don't like a player, if he goes onto that pitch, I want him to play at the best of his ability and Spurs to win.
Plus, you don't want West Ham gloating over us either.
No, I don't mind you. That's true, but they already are, aren't they? Right, just got a super chat here from Matthew. Thank you so much again for another super chat. Very, very kind of you. He says, I really wish we had an owner like Florentino Perez, the best owner ever. And I think he's the president of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he would have taken this into the Super League quicker than Levy did, to be fair.
That's true. That's true.
We've got Greg seeing that it says, I'm from Essex. I hate losing to those mallet idiots nearly as much as Arsenal. Must win for me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Carl says, missed it. I shall watch it back. I shall watch back. Big up. Carl, it's Mr. E says, Rooty Tooty, he should have been prioritised the fans before branding Thfc. Then the fans would have been fine with all the business projects and increasing ticket prices. Yeah. There's a lot of people. Look, I can understand some fans' frustrations about. There has been some big cock-ups like the ticket rises and that, Philip and Ellie. Look, so we'll just have to see. And we've got Tottenham, LSG, West Ham can't gloat about anything. They nearly got relegated last season.
Yeah.
They've lost their best player. Yeah,
absolutely.
And Kyle says, "Sorry, how are you guys? Yeah, we're grand." We're grand. Right, Philip, you put a few bits in here, and I'll start with, let's see now. Yeah, what would your start? We've gone through that.
We've been through that, yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we've done that.
Let's see now. Now, the venue, Philip, do you want to talk a bit about that? Because it is a 60,000 seat stadium, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice looking stadium. It was built about 8 years ago. It's held, they held rock concerts. Now, it's a funny shape. It's circular in the middle, inside, so it can be used for cricket and various things. But look, from the outside, it looks very like our stadium. So I wouldn't be surprised there's a bit of architectural similarities there. Capacity 60,000. Interesting to see how many turn up tomorrow. It's a multi-sport venue, as I said, and it's won all sorts of awards in Australia. So it's a very, very one of the most modern stadiums they have. And I say I'm just hoping that there's a big crowd there tomorrow to cheer our lads on.
Yeah, well, I got a bit more news, Philip. Breaking news. Apparently, PSG will attempt to outdo Bayern by lodging a cash plus player offer involving Fabian Ruiz.
What position does he play?
Do you know what? I actually don't know, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll look him up here now. I'll look him up. He need to be a striker because no point. Well, maybe he's a centre back.
Yeah, no, maybe if we get that as a centre back, maybe the chat will let us know.
I'm checking it here now.
Yeah,
he's a midfielder.
Central midfielder. I'm sure we don't need another central midfielder. We've enough of them. Well, no, we've got Madison and we've got Ndombele back. So no, if they can give us one of their strikers or one of their centre backs, it'll be all right.
Wayne Bond has that Scott Montfort actually started at the club yet? I don't
think he has actually. I don't think he has.
He's going to start ever.
He's a world-class central midfielder, apparently.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
well, it's just we've got Madison. There's not room for the two of them in the team. There's not room for two, Madison and him.
Yeah, big up to Dara. He's a Spanish international central midfielder. So there you go. So that is
interesting.
That is the very latest actually on the Harry Kane thing. So look, that's going to run, I think, guys, all the way to the end of the transfer window. Now, this is the Tottenham Hotspur pre-season schedule. Of course, we start tomorrow against West Ham United. Me and Philip will be introducing our new brand spanking new scoreboard on the watch along. So please get ready for that. And do bear with us tomorrow. It's could probably be a lot of teething problems. So please bear with us as we try to get used to a new system. So that's 11 o'clock UK time, kickoff time, 6 p.m. local time in Australia. Then on Sunday the 23rd at 11 a.m. UK time again, Leicester City play Tottenham, guys. Then now, I'm not sure. Now, yeah, Spurs versus Line City Sailors is at 12:30 p.m. UK time, which is 7:30 p.m. in Singapore. So that'd be a late one for us, Philip.
No, that's 12:38. That's lunchtime because Singapore.
Oh, is it lunchtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lunchtime, yeah.
Okay.
They're all early morning lunchtime kickoffs for that. You know?
Then okay, of course we're playing against Donetsk at 2 p.m. at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that's a 2 p.m. kickoff. And then we finish off. We're playing FC Barcelona at 8 p.m. local time on Tuesday, the 8th of August. All the pre-season games will be live here on Thfc till I die. Every watch along. Me and Philip will be following the guys as they do their pre-season tour, Philip. And look, very quickly, I'll start with you, Philip. What are you looking for out of these 5 games before we get to the Barcelona game? Do you want that game to be sort of how we're going to start against Brentford?
Yeah, the last game has to be, okay, the Shakhtar game will be nearly the team we want to play. And, excuse me, sorry, I have to go again.
Yeah.
Back.
So, Ellie, do you know, same question to you. What do you want to see out of these pre-season friendlies? And when we get to Barcelona, do you think that's the team should start against Brentford?
I want to see really good play, but obviously I want to win the matches as well, all the matches. But even if we don't win all the matches, I want to see a progression in our play, the style of football we're going to play. And then when we come to the Brentford game, I want the team that's picked, the one that performed best all round, you know. But Andrew will know that. He'll know which team is the best 11, right? So he'll be looking carefully to who's passing really quickly, 1-2s, moving off the ball, you know. So I want to make sure I'm really eagle-eyed on all the players, because I'm quite eagle-eyed, but I'm going to even be more eagle-eyed because of the style of football that Angie's adopting. Yeah,
so
who's going to be coping with the physicality of that?
The question sort of was getting at, Ellie, sorry, was by Barcelona. Do you want that team? Do you want that team that starts against Barcelona is the team that starts against Brentford away? That they know what to do and the tactics and everything sorted by that last game. We can hit the ground running on our first Premier League game of the season.
Yeah, I would want that to happen, because obviously then you know that is Angie's best 11, and that's the 11 that he trusts to play his system. So I want to see that progression right throughout those matches. And then he comes to the Barcelona game and he's got his first 11 that will start against Brentford as well. Yes, definitely.
Quick goal score. Goes 3 to Philip. Ellie, sorry, Spurs versus West Ham. What do you reckon score is going to be? I'm going for a 3-0 Spurs win.
I'll go for a 3-1. I'll go for a 3-1.
Leicester City against Spurs. I'm going for a 2-0 win against 2-0 win for Spurs.
I'll go for a 3-0 because I think we've got a beating of them.
Now, I think we all can be. We should beat the Line City Sailors. Now, to be fair, I think that could be a cricket score, but we should do. Now, Spurs against Donetsk. Are you going to that game, Ellie?
I am indeed. I'm going to meet Kate and her husband Jim there as well. So I'm looking forward to that, and a few other YouTubers. Yeah, I think we'll win it 2-1.
I'll go for a draw there. I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Okay. I just think, well, and then, of course, the last game against Barcelona. Look, Barcelona, probably that's always a big occasion when you play Barcelona anyway. So, look, I'm going for a 1-0 Spurs win.
I'll go for a 2-2.
But will Harry Kane still be in the Spurs shirt by the 8th of August?
Time will tell, won't it? Damn it.
It will. That will be very, very smart. Let's go through these last few of these, Ellie. Remember, West Ham have been there longer and already played games. Yeah, there have been, actually. No predictions in pre-season. All about progress, if any. Yeah, it's just for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
5-3 Spurs. Here's some bluff hoggies. Just watch the training session. No defensive work, like the attack process. Yep, I did. I tell you, I've been watching it for Ellie. They've been very quick. It's very fast interchanging sort of training they're doing, completely different to what Conte.
It's fabulous to watch. It really is.
We were amazing in the friendlies in 2008 under Ronde Ramos, then made our worst start ever. I'm not bothered about these friendlies, but they are useful for Ange to have a look at plays. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
Tottenham LSG says we're getting smashed by Brentford with our defence, but why is anyone positive about that game? Because we're Spurs fans. I'm positive we can beat anyone. And then, yeah, all the games are live on Spurs Play, but you can catch them all here as well. Me and Philip are covering every preseason game starting from tomorrow morning. Listen, that's all we're going to give you today. Look, any more news, we'll bring it to you. We'll bring it to you fast, first here on THFC Till I Die. Thanks for Ellie for dropping in.
Yes.
Big up to everyone. Philip will say goodbye. Me and Philip, of course, are back in the morning at 10 to 11 with the new watch along software and our new scoreboard. So please join us for that. Let's see, can Spurs win? Any other breaking news, we will bring it to you first and fastest. Colin, we're going to finish up here. Colin says West Ham might have an amazing ability and players that is Scott McTominay and the best defender in the world, Harry Maguire. So yeah, I've heard that. I actually heard that. Carl says we are positive as that we won't be our defense by Brentford. Exactly. And then Matthew again with another super chat as well. Thank you so much, Matthew. Very kind. He says, "Oh yeah, Barcelona going to face the most toxic and most delusional fan base in the world." Okay. I don't know what to say, but thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, and Terry writes, "It's a good show. Don't take out." Yeah, well, thank you all very much. And just to finish off, as we always do, this is Harry Kane when his brother rings him to tell him about the PSG move. That was Mrs. Kane looking at Harry thinking, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, listen, thank you all for watching. God bless you all. But back tomorrow at 10 to 11 with the watch along. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you
And
Spurs.
we trust.